And Mr. Chavez has resigned. Is that what I understand?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. We will go ahead and approve the minutes from the last meeting. Is there any additions, subtractions, modifications anybody needs to make? Being nobody saying anything, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes.
Moved by Ms. Fleming, seconded by Mr. Pepper. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Adoption of the agenda. I would like to go ahead and change the order if we can, to do the election before the interview, if that's all right with you. Okay, so I'll make that motion, second by Mr. Pepper. All in favor, say aye. All right. So let me go ahead and read some rules here and we'll get down to business. For the benefit of all the applicants, I will briefly explain the function of the board and the procedure that will be followed at this hearing. While this is a formal proceeding, which is subject to review by the district court, there is no reason for you to be nervous about asking questions if you do not understand something about tonight's proceedings. The Board of Adjustments and Appeals hears all cases concerning single-family dwelling variances, hardship variance requests, and appeals from decisions made on administrative adjustments relating to single-family dwellings. The Board of Adjustments and Appeals has the power to act in regard to all matters arising from enforcement of provisions of the City Code. As applicants, you must convince a majority of the board present that your application should be granted based on the criteria contained in the City Code. This board has the power to hear This board has the power to hear applicants for variance of code requirements for existing single-family properties only. The grounds for approval require there to be no adverse effects on adjacent properties and that a majority of the following criteria are met. 1, the variance results in improved design. 2, no adverse effects on neighborhood character. 3, variance is compatible with adjacent development. 4, no impact to existing city infrastructure or public improvements. 5, variance achieves an internal efficiency of design. 6, variance controls for all external effects. For the cases listed on tonight's hearing portion of the agenda, I will call each case separately and have the city representative present the facts and any other necessary documentation regarding your application. You will then be given the opportunity to present your evidence to the board. The board also give interested persons the opportunity to express their views regarding your application. Members of the board may ask each witness questions, but these questions should not be interpreted as indicating that any member has prejudged this application before hearing the evidence. Before we begin, does anybody here have any questions concerning the procedures or rules of the hearing tonight? Seeing none, I will go ahead and call number 5A, case number 11-25 on North Scranton Street.
Evening, I'm Jeremiah FedEx. I'll be giving staff's presentation this evening for case numbers 11-25. The property is located at 1293 Scranton Street in the Halton Heights subdivision. The applicant and property owner who has joined us this evening is Jorge Brown. So the applicant this evening will request 3 separate variances to allow for an already constructed detached accessory building located in the rear yard of the subject property. The accessory building was constructed without securing the necessary building permits and received a notice of violation from code enforcement due to a neighbor complaint. Stated purpose and need for the accessory building is to store personal property and vehicles. Additionally, the property owner stated that they purchased the prefabricated building and it could not be returned or refunded. The concrete driveway and foundation for the accessory building taking access from East 13th Avenue has also been constructed without receiving the proper permits of the city. The 3 variances requested this evening. So the first variance is from the Unified Development Ordinance, or UDO, section 146-4.2.3.f.1.c, which states that accessory buildings in residential districts larger than 120 square feet shall not exceed 450 square feet or 50% of the gross floor area of the principal building, whichever is greater. The request is to allow for a 1,050 square foot accessory building, which exceeds the 50% size limit of the principal building's gross floor area by approximately 15% or 134 square feet. The second request is from UDO section 146-4.2.3.f.1.d, which states that accessory buildings in residential districts shall not exceed the height of the principal building of 20 feet. The request is to allow for an accessory building 14 feet in height, which exceeds the height of the 12-foot primary principal building by 2 feet. The third variance request is from sections 146-4.2.3.f.1.h and 146-4.2.3.f.1.i, which state accessory buildings in residential districts larger than 120 square feet shall have exterior design, colors, roof pitch, and building materials similar to the principal building and shall not be clad in unpainted or galvanized metal or T111 or materials of similar appearance. So the request is to allow for an accessory building greater than 120 square feet to not architecturally integrate with the principal building's materials and exterior design, to be sided in metal and T111 siding. Property is generally located at the southwest corner of East 13th Avenue and North Scranton Street in the Hoffman Heights subdivision or neighborhood, as I mentioned, which was originally known as Hoffmantown. Property is approximately 0.19 acres or 8,275 square feet, and the primary residence is 1,832 square feet in size. It was constructed in 1952 according to the Arapahoe County Assessor's records. There are 2 driveways on the property, one located at the front of the house connecting to Scranton Street, and the other taking access in the rear yard off of East 13th Avenue. Subject property and surrounding neighborhood are all zoned R1, which is low density single family residential. They're made up of single family detached homes. The R1 zone district is intended to promote and preserve safe and attractive low density single family residences. This district is intended to prohibit all commercial activities except for permitted home occupations. The R1 district is generally comprised of medium to large suburban single-family lots. The surrounding neighborhood is comprised of 1-story homes with a mix of 1- and 2-stall attached and detached garages. Additionally, properties in the neighborhood are predominantly clad in brick veneer and have hips and gable roofs. Here's a view of the home facing west, and this is from the sidewalk along Scranton Street. As you can see, there's an existing 1-stall attached garage, and it's a hip roof and plated in brick veneer. Just moving slightly to the north and then angling more towards the southwest. Here's the home from the intersection of Scranton Street and East 13th Avenue. The constructed accessory building is situated behind the home in the rear yard. You can see it there in the back. There's a photo looking south. It shows the relationship between the home and the accessory building. Here we're looking southeast at the home and accessory building. This is along the sidewalk at East 13th Avenue. Finally, this is across the street, the north side of East 13th Avenue, looking generally south back at the home and the accessory building. Before you is the plot plan is submitted in the application. So the front facade of the accessory building is recessed approximately 8 feet behind the side facade of the principal building of the home, front to East 13th Avenue. Accessory building is approximately 6 feet from the rear property line, 12.5 feet from the side property line, 5 feet from the principal building. For additional context, the accessory building's longest side is 42 feet, which is similar to the width along the side of the principal building. The entire lot is 75 feet. City records indicate there's a 16-foot utility easement running through the rear yards of the properties on Scranton and Salem streets, shown there faintly with the dashed red lines. So this utility easement results in 8 feet being within each of those rear yards. So it's 8 feet on either side, totaling that 16 feet. So the aerial image on the slide before you shows the approximate location of where that utility easement lands in relationship to the accessory building foundation and driveway. A little bit of background on the property. So a public hearing for BOA case number 06-24 was held on August 20th of 2024, where two single-family dwelling variances were requested for a proposed 25 by 50 foot or 1,250 square foot prefabricated metal accessory building that exceeded the maximum size by 334 square feet. That was denied with a vote of 3-2. The other request was for the accessory structure not architecturally integrating in design and building materials with the principal building, and that was denied 4-1 by this board. Board cited that neither variance requested presented an improved design. They were not consistent with the existing and historic lower density residential neighborhood character, not compatible and consistent with adjacent properties. There's negative impacts on existing city infrastructure and public improvements. It did not control for any external effects. Since the previous variance requests were heard and denied, the property owner constructed the accessory building in May of 2025 without the necessary permits or variance approvals prior to construction. Revisions to the first two denied variance requests have been made. The accessory building size has been reduced by 200 square feet. They removed 8 feet in overall length of the accessory structure. And a T111 or plywood siding panel wainscot was added to the bottom of the accessory building. The mailed and posted notices requirements were fulfilled per the UDO requirements. Staff did not receive any calls or emails in the case being heard this evening. I won't read through the criteria for approval again, as we saw them earlier, but this board needs to find there to be no adverse effect on adjacent properties, and that a majority of the 6 approval criteria are met for approval of the variance requests. Staff's analysis. So the UDO defines accessory buildings or accessory structures as a structure or building detached from a principal structure located on the same lot and customarily incidental and subordinate to the principal structure or principal building. Based on aerial images and visiting the neighborhood, staff was unable to find any type of accessory structure of this size and scale. While there are numerous properties with detached garages, they are of a permitted size and they architecturally integrate with the properties. The accessory building is not similar to the principal building in exterior design and building materials. The constructed accessory building in this case is a prefabricated corrugated metal building with a T111 plywood siding wainscot. For context, corrugated metal T111 plywood siding panels are not permitted cladding materials. Additionally, corrugated metal buildings are not permitted in residential zone districts. They're only permitted in industrial zone districts, and even then, they require a 42-inch brick wainscot when visible from a public street. The height of the accessory building is not compatible with the surrounding adjacent neighborhood. It far exceeds the height of any similar type of building. Accessory buildings in the neighborhood are commonly 120 square feet or smaller and contained in the rear yard, or detached garages varying in size that are subordinate to and architecturally integrated with them. When analyzing variance requests for accessory buildings, it is important to consider potential impacts on the surrounding properties as well as the public realm. While staff understands that there may be a need and desire to store personal property and vehicles in an enclosed area, the accessory building does not align with the surrounding properties in general neighborhood from a size, scale, and design standpoint. In addition, staff always advises citizens to check out all dimensional standards for new construction prior to building anything. Staff are concerned that after receiving a denial from the Board of Adjustment and Appeals in 2024, the applicant proceeded to construct an unpermitted building. So staff finds that the accessory building with its size, height, and architectural aesthetic does not meet the criteria for granting a variance. Staff recommends denial on each of the 3 accessory building variances. First, to the exceedance of the maximum allowable size by 134 square feet. For the accessory building to exceed the maximum height by 2 feet, and then for the accessory building to not architecturally integrate and use not permitted materials in metal in T111 plywood siding. The staff finds that the proposal does not represent an improved design, is not consistent with the existing and historic lower density residential neighborhood character. It is not compatible and consistent with adjacent properties. It does produce negative impacts on existing city infrastructure. It does not control for external effects. If the variances are approved this evening, the property owner would need to obtain the necessary city permits for the accessory building and the driveway. Because there are 3 separate variance requests, we will need 3 separate votes. Staff has provided the recommended motions, and I can provide them before you all on the screen during each discussion and vote if need be. But please let me know if you'd like me to navigate back to any of the slides I presented this evening. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Any questions of city staff from the board?
One question, I think that the driveway in front of the home was there and then there was a second driveway constructed on 13th. Is that what?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, the one off Scranton has been there since 1990.
right. Okay.
I have a question of the attorney here. So we've already seen this case before, and denied it. How many times do you get to apply for the same waivers?
Well, they're not exactly the same in this case.
I mean, the cladding absolutely is.
Yeah.
Code is twofold. It's if there's like substantial changes made to the application, they can come back prior to a year. But if they wait 1 calendar year, they can come back the exact same.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions of staff?
There's no like double jeopardy kind of thing? No, all right.
Cool. So you're the applicant, yes?
Yes,
Would you go ahead and state your name and which city you reside in, please?
my name is Jorge Borunda. I am the homeowner of Scranton Street in Aurora.
Anything that city staff might have gotten wrong, anything you want to add, anything that omit, change?
Like I said, it's nice to see you guys, some familiar faces, some new faces. I did this last year, and this year I did move on it. It was $25,000 that I purchased that prefabricated metal because I work in the oil field, and every time I go to work or ride from the yard to location up in Fort Lupton, we go through these neighborhoods where big mansions with these nice workshops in the back and everything, and I'm like, oh, I want one. So I bought it, and when I was denied, I was like sitting at $25,000 that I can't return. And I downsized it. So even though that 8 feet that I downsized, that's $4,000 that I wasted, because that's $4,000 less of the material that I used. I built it. I know I'm not in the area like in Elizabeth where they have the metal fabricated shops, up in Douglas County, up in Welch County. And I know I can say it doesn't make the neighborhood look bad, but I get it. There's rules, there's zonings for these types of materials in that neighborhood. So I have no problem spending more money to make it into code, make the siding, because it's just a shell. I've got a proposal. Somebody gave me a quote for like 10 to, depending on the material, 10 to like 16,000 to change the siding, because that metal sheeting is just on the beams. So they would have to frame it, take all the sheeting off and then add the siding. But that's a lot of money, and I don't want to invest the money if I'm just gonna be like a money pit. I just want to make it right. I know I did it wrong the first time, because that's what we do. We just keep doing things wrong, and then we come back and try to do it right the second time. But like I said last time, there's nothing wrong with brick, but all those houses have like staircase cracks along the walls. My neighbor's house looked like the wall's about to fall off. Mine has the staircase cracks on my side where the 13th Street is too. wanted some material a little bit better, but there's nothing wrong with metal, but it's not allowed in that neighborhood. So I'm not against it, changing into the material that is allowed. But I just want to get this over with, get it presented, make the corrections and move on. I just don't need to waste your guys' time.
Any questions of the applicant?
Take you to, bring it up to code.
As soon as I get the yes, let's do it, and I get the contractor and spend that money.
Get a building permit too.
Yeah, let's get the permits, get the contractors to come out and tear the sheeting off and just put the siding. Cause it won't be brick, the neighborhood's all brick and, what's that siding? Yeah. Like laminate siding. So all the,
So unless we do approve your request, it would have to be the same as your principal structure, your house.
it would have to be brick. Okay, I get a mason. Come out and that'll be a little more expensive, but I just want to put this to bed. I've already been in bed with you guys for half a year, so I just want to lay this down.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. All right. Is there anybody else that's here from the public that would like to speak?
So we have someone from code enforcement.
Oh, yeah, please. Would you like to say anything?
Can I state my name or anything?
Yeah, please. Yeah, your name.
My name is Jared Elliott. I work for the City of Aurora Code Enforcement. I've talked to you a few times, sir, throughout this whole process.
Yeah, at the house.
Yes. I guess all I really have to say is I did hear that you have been here before, you were denied, and you built it anyway. That then resulted in reports coming in from the neighbors about the structure due to the size, height, material used. It's just very non-conforming with code, with that area in particular, my area. So I guess I would also just recommend denial for pretty much everything that's been presented here. And again, if you are to bring it into conforming with the city code, they have to be same material as the primary structure, the house. Would need to be downsized quite a bit. And you also,
Thing is, even down the street, I have a picture of a house just down the street. Here's their roof and here's their barn over their roof. That's just down the street. And this thing is, this is brick and that's a different siding as well.
Is it possible you could text that picture to city staff so we can make sure that's in the record? Okay,
Well, it'd be nice to see, it makes
that'd be great.
Yeah, you can even, like I said, even from far away, you can see,
Or email it to them, whatever. Just want to make sure.
you can see their house and the roof dwelling way over their house. This is a 20-foot barn. So,
Any other questions or people from the public that need to speak?
There's no one else from the public.
Okay. I do have a question of city staff here. So as far as the height is concerned, it's just that it's taller than the primary structure. So if the gentleman built up his primary structure to equal, the height wouldn't be a problem anymore. Is that what I understand?
Yeah, correct. Based on is the, whichever is less, right? 20 feet or whichever is less compared to the principal structure.
Sure. Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close this portion of the meeting to the public. Discuss. Sorry, do you have anything else?
yeah,
Go ahead.
she said about the primary garage, the reason for the detached garage was to take away the the garage from the house. That garage is back in 1952. These cars aren't the same. So those garages are for sedans, small cars. So I have a mega cab and that and an SUV fit side to side in the back. So it does protect my property. And that's that a garage that's part of the house. It's gonna get demolished and add more square footage inside the house. but that's one step at a time. I need to move out, to bring in, to rebuild, to that first garage is gonna get demolished and, I can remove that driveway, so it's not there either, so.
You plan on expanding your house?
Not expanding, just taking that, garage, space that just useless. It just, holds my, like my lawnmower and stuff like that. But I can, my plan was to, knock down the wall and the square footage of the, like the living space of the living room further back, so it's not so close to the door. It's more square footage for the house. Seems like a lot of people that come and buy these houses, they flip them and they take away that garage. And I've seen I just see a lot of houses around in that area that get flipped. And it looks nice, the extra square footage.
Thanks, sir. All right, we'll go ahead and close this portion of the meeting to the public. Discussion amongst the board. I will go ahead and begin by saying I have visited the property. Ms. Fleming,
I did too.
Mr. Pepper,
No, I have not.
Mr. Richardson?
No.
Okay. General discussion. So I'll go ahead and start this and maybe actually have a question for city staff too. That 8 foot, how much of the garage that he's just built is actually it looks like it kind of intrudes in that by what, maybe 2 or 3 feet something, or am I missing something there?
Yeah, it'd be approximately 2 feet. Give or take. If the foundation / driveway was 6 feet off the property line, we know the 8-foot easement, so roughly 2 feet.
And so if they needed to come and do something, I mean, Excel or whatever, they could just rip down his garage and whatever they have to do. Is that correct?
I gave you the letter from Excel. They came and they plotted. So the 8 feet of easement that they need is 4 feet from the neighbor's yard and the 4 feet from my yard to give them in total 8 feet. They gave me,
I thought I heard you say it was 8 feet either side of the property.
Yeah, so the recorded plat and all of city records indicate 8 feet on either side, 16 feet.
Total,
Yeah.
16 total.
So I did not include that correspondence because it was very vague and didn't include any of the measurements or anything like that.
Okay. So this is built in the easement as well. That's what I understand.
I guess I have a question. What is the relevance of it? Is that like a safety thing or is it like so they can work on it and?
Yes.
And it also depends on the easement itself, given that it's a power line easement or a utility easement, usually those are what we would call an exclusive easement, meaning that you're not supposed to have any structures or anything that would affect the easement holder, in this case, Excel's ability to access their easement. But not seeing the easement language or knowing, it's hard to know exactly what the requirements are for the easement.
But we do know it's 8 feet and this thing is built. 6
According to the plat.
Okay. Thank you. More general discussion. So I don't have really a problem, and I kind of said this the last time. I don't have a problem with the size. I have a problem with the location and the cladding. So I'm likely to turn down pretty much the entire thing.
What
Unless
do you
you
mean
can-
by location?
So it's in the easement.
Oh, right. the easement part, Yeah.
And so, if we're gonna approve this, but I don't really have much of a problem with the actual size of the garage, but the height and the cladding are a problem for me, right? Like it's just where it is on the property that's kind of an issue. So I'm likely to vote no on all of it, but unless you guys can convince me the other way. Either getting approval, especially because we've already seen this before. I mean, I know you folks weren't here, but
I haven't seen.
but yeah, I think, I mean, it's like,
So by him gonna restructure it, like
Yeah.
putting brick around it, dropping the height down.
Or increasing the height of it.
Increasing
Yeah, yeah, I mean, so there's 3 different variances, right? One's for the cladding, one's for the square footage, and one is for the height. And I'm just based on what's going on, I'm unlikely to vote in favor of any of them, to be honest. The square footage, I'm kind of okay with, you know, like, cause a lot of people have big garages in there. I mean, he's on a main street, like, I'm kind of cool with that, but I'm not. The height and the cladding are 2 things, and then the fact that where it is now, I mean, it's in the easement. So if you prove, yeah. I got you. And also, these things, this is a big thing too, is when we approve something, it runs with the land. So any other, the future homeowner, or whatever, they get to keep doing whatever he's done. So.
Yeah, I
When
see
you
what
say clouding, you're saying easement?
I'm sorry, one more time?
When you're saying clouding or
The cladding,
cladding?
yeah, like the brick versus the sheet metal.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, the material.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
No issue
I
changing.
mean, I think it looks fine, frankly. I don't really have a problem with it. I am slightly concerned with the easement now that they bring that up. It's unfortunate. I think it looks fine and it doesn't look too out of place really. And I mean, it's metal versus the brick. It's kind of white-ish. It looks fine, but yeah, the location of it is unfortunate.
So again, like I said, it goes with the land. So that means if we approve that he can have, you know, the sheet metal, that he sells the house in 50 years,
Mhm.
somebody else can put some other, you know, just plywood pretty much
Right.
on it, right? It doesn't have to match the house.
I see.
So we look consistent sometimes.
Here's like you said, the easement, here's the letter from Excel saying, after speaking with operations, Excel has no
Yep,
problem.
Mr. Timms?
Just for the record, the public hearing's closed, so technically.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be getting additional testimony from.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
You can reopen it and if you want to ask further questions,
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have questions of that,
but otherwise.
otherwise it's just discussion amongst us.
Understood.
Any other discussion?
I think the height thing is being a bit nitpicky, frankly. But everything else kind of is a big sticking point for me.
It's the easement issue.
Yeah.
Well, so we're gonna split this into 3 separate votes, with number 1 being the first one. Someone wants to make a motion to either approve or deny the variance or the square footage.
I approved. Question number 1.
Some Mr. Pepper, motion to approve based on what criteria, sir? You have to have at least 4 of the criteria.
Seems square footage seems to be okay.
So we have,
The-
can you pull up the criteria there, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have, to, Mr. Pepper, so you have to pick at least 4 of those.
Okay.
You approve based on those 4, or 4 of the 6. You could just say 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 4, 5, 6, and 1, or whatever you choose
Well,
to pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna select say deny for question number 1 because
So are you withdrawing your original?
yes, I'm drawing it.
I think there are sample motions that you all.
Yeah, there are some motions here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If you'll just read that, please. If that's what you choose, I mean, you can change it to do whatever you want.
Deny.
Deny based on,
The square, let's see, the proposal does not represent the approved design. It's not consistent with the adjacent properties. Does have negative impact on existing city infrastructure. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3.
So Mr. Pepper, moves to deny based on criteria 1 through 4. I need a second. I'll be the second. All those in favor say aye. To deny, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries 3-1 to deny number 1. On number 2, variance for the accessory building to not exceed the height of a principal building or 20 feet. Need a motion on that. Please.
I move to approve that the variance of the accessory building of 14 feet in height, which exceeds the 12-foot principal building by 2 feet for the property located at 1293 Sprite Street, continuing in case 1125, because I think the proposal does result in an improved design. I feel like it is compatible with adjacent properties. It doesn't produce a negative impact on city infrastructure or public improvements. How many was that? Was that 3?
Yes, so we need one more.
It is consistent with existing and historic lower density residential neighborhood character.
All right, so motion by Mr. Richardson to approve based on those criteria. Need a second. Second by Mr. Pepper. All those in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Yay. Mr. Pepper, how did you vote? To approve or deny?
Approve.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that one does carry. All right. So the height is approved 3-1 with Mr. Burzen's dissenting. And then number 3, variance for the accessory building larger than 120 square feet to have the same design, colors, roof pitch, and building materials similar to the principal building. I need a motion on that, please. I'll go ahead and move to deny because I don't believe it is an improved design. I don't think it's consistent with the adjacent development. I don't believe it controls for external effects. And I don't believe it has, I don't know, internal efficiency design. Need a second.
I second.
Second by Ms. Fleming. All those in favor to deny, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries to deny 3-1 with Mr. Richardson dissenting. Thank you, sir.
Is there a way to open up the platform again?
No, sir. We're moving on here on our agenda. Thank you for your time. The city staff will be in touch with you about how to move forward with.
You? After this?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, so let's go ahead to number 6, special elections for the vice chair. Any discussion amongst the board for that?
What are the responsibilities?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What are the responsibilities of the vice chair?
Run the meeting if the chair's not here.
Okay. Because last time it was just me.
Yeah, sorry
You
about
did a great job.
it. Yeah.
Did very good. We're on the
I'll nominate Mr. Pepper to be the vice chair if you accept it, Mr. Pepper.
Yeah, so
Okay. Any other discussion? Anybody else want to be vice chair?
I mean, I'm gonna be Catalina for it. I got seniority on it.
All right, so I guess all in favor of electing Mr. Pepper as vice chair, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, Mr. Pepper is now the vice chair.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And then let's go ahead and have, is it Miss Becker?
Yes.
All right, would you like to come join us over here? Thank you, sir. Do you want to just kind of tell us who you are? You know, you live here in Aurora, maybe what ward you live in, anything, education, that kind of stuff?
All right, so it's been a while since I've been to a Board of Adjustment meeting. I am a city planner by trade. I work for the state of Colorado on the Auraria Higher Education Campus in downtown Denver. I've been a planner for about 12 years. Yeah, 12 years. And I've been in, not Denver, Aurora, excuse me, almost a little over 2 years in February, bought my house. So it was exciting. I'm an adult. And so I was, you know. And so I was kind of looking for, I've applied for a couple different things. I've been trying to, I want to be more civically engaged. I'm a nosy neighbor. I want to know what's happening in my neighborhood. Millennial, so I'm sure this is how I don't really want to protest. I'd rather be involved in local government if I can. This is how I get my voice out. And I used to do quite a bit of work with the Board of Adjustment in my 2 previous jobs to where I'm at now. And so I really liked that board. They were always very casual, and it was very informative and curious, which I really liked about that. Planning Commission is a little too I know somebody on this is on planning commission, running for planning commission, so I won't say anything, but it was always a little too formal for me. So I always liked the more, this kind of like one-on-one, personable type of board. So yeah, that's about me.
Any questions? I do have a question for city staff. How long has the position been posted?
One moment.
Sorry. Okay,
About,
Okay.
yeah,
and she's the only applicant, so.
yes. Yeah, no other applicants, and it's still posted.
Okay. When did you apply? Did you apply once it was posted? I'm just curious.
She applied within days
Okay.
of me posting it.
Well, I didn't, I was like I remember I was,
You just refresh it.
no.
I was
It's a
just
running
curious
joke.
how-
Like, I
wait,
told my dad that I was applying for this, and he was like, "Didn't you say you would never do that?" And I was like, "Well, now I'm doing it." Okay, I'm not a city planner anymore. I can do that. So
Question for you.
yes,
What do you think is the single most important skill for a board member to have?
curiosity, and just being open. This is a hard board, because you're dealing with really complex issues that have to be kind of simplified down for people from the members of the public to be able to handle, right? So you get a building permit once usually in your life, and you have to go to the Board of Adjustment. If you're lucky, maybe not ever, but once, right? So it's a hard thing to have to navigate if you've never navigated that. If you ever, I don't know if you guys do, I'm going to talk to my planners, but I don't know if you have like planner of day, but that builds the most patience. Because you're talking to people that you have to deal with the city once at a blue moon, once like every 10 years, right? If you're lucky. So like curiosity and a lot of listening and patience.
What civic organizations or activities have you participated in?
So I try to volunteer a lot, and in my work life, I do quite a bit of, I'm a liaison for AHEC with DOTI, the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, RTD, this CDOT. I deal with Front Range Passenger Rail. I deal with a lot of different entities as a liaison with our state agency. So I do that. And then in my personal life, I'm trying to get more civically involved. I don't have as much because I haven't had as much time, but now that I have a little bit more time, I've been trying to be more involved. And so I did do a little bit of volunteer work at the Trade Museum in Golden. And then I did I'm a part of the Downtown Denver Partnership. Through my professional work, I do some volunteer there. So that's pretty fun. The Planning and Community Impact Committee, which is great. So I like that.
I have those dates for you.
Great.
So the vacancy was posted on September 8th, and she applied on September 15th.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Any other questions? I was just gonna ask, do you foresee yourself able to visit the properties and make the meetings on a regular basis? Is that something?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. The only thing is I know we have a big trip planned in December. And so, Yeah.
I mean, a month or two, I mean, we don't even meet every month, really.
Yeah, okay.
Have since I've been on.
I wasn't here, dang it. Any other questions?
So why are you interested in getting more civically engaged? So, clearly you're involved in city stuff. You're way
Well,
more
I'm involved
city
in,
stuff than I am.
I'm
but-
involved in like Denver city stuff. I don't
So-
think be involved.
You wanna be involved in
Well, I want to be involved where I live, right? I live like 10 minutes from here. Like I could, I go to the library all the time and I drive by and I'm like, that's a really big building. I should go in there sometime and check it out, and just, yeah. So,
Good place to be.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good area.
Any other questions? Anything else you want to add?
I'm pretty,
How long have you been here?
we bought, yeah, February of 23 we closed.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to.
But I'm born and raised in Colorado. I grew up in Colorado Springs and then went to college in Denver.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
That mean though. Worse. We tell people to like, "Nah, we're all grumpy about it. Love to tell you that we're natives. Like,
Any other questions? Thank you. Just based on the fact that it's so quick with Mr. Chavez leaving and you being the applicant, I would like to wait and see if we get maybe another interview or two before we make a recommendation, but I believe the city staff will probably just move it up to council. I mean, I would like to see if,
Then you make a recommendation.
oh, okay.
You have to,
So maybe put it on the agenda for next month. See if we
Yeah,
can.
currently one vacancy.
She's gonna be gone next month anyway, so. I'm gonna be like, oh, yeah, you're hired.
But yeah, no, great. I mean, you seem like a great candidate. I just like to see if there's anybody else, but I mean, unless you guys want to make a recommendation. But I'd like to hold out just to see if anybody else, because I think it was pretty quick there with Mr. Chavez just bouncing out. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anything else for housekeeping? Anybody have anything?
Nothing.
No? Okay. Meeting adjourned. Or move to adjourn, I guess. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Vickers. All in favor, aye? All right, let's get out of here.